Hello everybody, thanks for joining me. Today's webinar is quite a long one, much longer than I usually do, but that's because I want to go into every bit of TextAid, showing you all of the features, how to set it up, everything you need to know basically about TextAid as an individual license. I will do a different webinar focusing on site licenses because that's slightly different. But today we're looking at TextAid individual license and a deep dive into it. So everything you need to know, well, I think you need to know about how you use TextAid. And set up too. If you've got any questions, please ask them. At the end of the webinar, I will be emailing you with a document to help you can share with people to help them set up their account, and a little video as well. So I'll also be emailing you with a little bit more information. But if you've not got a trial license or a demo license and you need one because you demonstrate this to students or you help students use it themselves, I can send that to you as well. So we'll make a start. It probably will take about an hour just because I'm going through everything. It is recorded, so if you can't stay for the full hour, don't worry, I can send you the recording later today. So without further ado, I shall make a start. So deep dive into ReadSpeaker TextAid. I'm going to start off by looking at how you set it up. What do you do when you get a license link to set up your account? Right, I will share my screen and have a look. Okay, so I'm just going to use some slides just for the setup part of it. And that's just because I've already set my account up, so I can't show you live setting it up. So we'll just use a few slides to talk about that bit, and then we'll actually get into TextAid. And I'm treating it as if I've only just got my account, so I've got nothing in my library, nothing's set up. Okay, right, so the link to an account is sent by email. It's a web app, so you log into an account that's in your browser. It's a URL, which is always to readspeaker.com, and then it's got your license key and everything all within the URL. You click on that and fill in your name and create a password, and then an email, a verification email, is sent to you, and you need to verify that. There is a time limit on that. That's just so that people can't steal your license link. So I'm showing you now what it looks like on your screen when you click on the link. So you put in your first name, last name, put your email address in, and password, and the activation code, and you agree to the terms and conditions. Then you'll receive a verification email, and you click on to verify it. Now, some people then try and use that URL to log into their account. Now that doesn't work. So if you're a trainer and you're having difficulty with a student, they've verified it, but then they can't get in, they might be clicking on the wrong link. It is TextAid, the TextAid link that they need to use, and their username is their email address. So then when you go, and we'll do this in a moment, go to TextAid, the TextAid website, and sign in using your username, your email, and your password that you've just created, and you click login, and then you're good to go. So that is the basics of creating the account. Of course, you do that once, and then you're good to go. Good to go. Right, I'm going to close that now. We don't need that anymore. But I will be sending you a link to that document to help you or help students or people you help get into their account. So that's that. Right, let's move in to TextAid. If it's the first time you've ever used it, you need to go to the website. Now, you can click on the link that you receive in the email, or you can just simply search for TextAid in Google or any search engine and then go in that way. So I'm doing it that way. So this is the front page of the TextAid on the ReadSpeaker website. I'm going to click on login and we're going to go. Oh, I'm already logged in. Let's log out, because this is what it will be like for a new user. Now use the left-hand side. Don't use sign in with Google. This right-hand side is for single sign-in for site licenses. So yeah, if you're a school or a student at a university that has a site license, yes, that's the way you sign in, and that's the way you create your account, by using the single sign-in, often for Office or Google. But if it's an individual account, like Access to Work, DSA, or just a general individual account, use the left-hand side, put in your email address, which I will do, and a password, and log in. There is a forgotten password button there that you're sent a verification email to reset it. So this is what it looks like when you first log in. There is a little introductory video if you fancy watching that. It shows the basics of TextAid, but maybe after watching this you won't need that. I do have some short videos that I've made. I've got various lengths: 1 minute, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, and then specific features of TextAid 2. I've got lots of videos that I can share with you if you want them. Right, so TextAid reads stuff to you. It reads lots in using various voices. We'll take a look at exploring the different voices and the way the documents can look, and having different types of documents read to you. And not just documents, websites too. And also we'll take a look at using it on the phone, and also the other tools that are available. So the first thing you probably want to do is just see how it reads, get it reading some text. So to do that, click on New Text. This will open a page. Now, because I've used this before, I've got a pink background. It will be white if you've never used your account before. It just default onto white background. We'll be looking at the background shortly. Right, so you can just paste something in or type, and it will read it to you. Let's just go. I'll copy a bit of this text. Just put it back. Put it in there, and then if I want to have this read to me, I can click listen, and it will read to me. I've got Alice selected, so let's listen to her.
When you receive your TextAid license code, click on the link. It starts with HTTPS.
Oh, wow, that's really fast, isn't it? Oh, that's way too fast. How do you change the speed? At the top, there's a little dial speed, reading speed button. Oh, I've got it on 185%. No wonder it was reading super fast. Right, so you can alter the reading speed straight away just from there. Like easy. Then if you think, oh, no, I don't really want a female voice. I want a male voice. Right, we've got these are the standard voices you get for if it's a DSA license or an Access to Work license. They're the standard voices, a variety of accents and languages too. Now, if the user requires a different language, they can request it. Just click on feedback at the bottom and say, please can I have Polish, or please can I have Ukrainian, whatever language, and most languages are available in TextAid, so they can. It might be because that's their first language, or maybe they're studying that language and they need it, or they work for a company that is in a different country and they need that language. So you can request extra voices. Let's listen to Jude. Let's listen to a male voice. A bit slower this time. So let's listen.
When you receive your TextAid license code, click on the link. It starts with HTTPS.
I like Jude's voice. I think that's my favourite. But personal preference, isn't it? Now, you probably noticed when it was being read, the words were highlighted in a different colour to help follow and track the words. It really does help. It shows that this bimodal reading does help with processing, and also people with ADHD to focus on the words as they're being read. They're more likely to, rather than if it wasn't highlighted. That's not saying that you can't switch it off. You can, and you can change the colours and the style. You can have it underlined if you want. To change anything in TextAid, any settings, well, we've got some settings at the top. This is for if you're doing your own writing, like I did. I pasted this in, and you can change the speed there. We've got some, you can probably figure out what these are. This is automatic scrolling, so if that was on and it was a really long page, it would just automatically scroll down. You wouldn't have to move it with your mouse or anything. And then you've got like formatting, there's a spell check. We'll look at these in a moment, the spell checker and the dictation button and formatting and things like that. But let's look at the highlighting. So guess what? You click on highlighting to change the highlighting style. So I'll click on there and you can see what the options are. So you've got the colour for the highlighted words and the colour for the highlighted sentences as well. And then you can change the text colour, and it shows you at the bottom, so you don't have to imagine what that will look like. So you can change, maybe I want blue words, and I want the sentences underlined. So then it will show you what that would be like. Or maybe if you didn't want any highlighting, just click on the no highlighting, and then it won't highlight for you. But most people, I would say, would like to actually have some kind of highlighting to help them track where TextAid is in their document as it's being read. So I'll just put it back on. I'll go for yellow sentences, blue words. There we go. So they're the highlighting settings for when it's reading out to you. Now this was just a bit of text. We will come back to this tab when we're taking a look at some help with doing your own writing. But I want to take a look at other documents. How do you get the documents into your account to have them read? So if it's a very long article, it's maybe a PDF document, you need to upload it into your account. But then it's there forever, unless you delete it. And so you go to library on the left-hand side. Right. So in my library at the moment, I have 0 documents. You can have up to 100. We do find that 100 is sufficient for most users. If they really needed more, they could click on feedback and ask, can I have more documents in my library? But most people are perfectly happy with 100. That is a lot, isn't it? Now, you can access your Google Drive or OneDrive from the library. You just click on it, and then you need to just log in to your account that way. So you can do that. You do. Oh, I've just closed it. Let me log in again. So here we are. Look at that. That's a perfect example of showing that you don't have to panic and worry that you've lost things if you do accidentally close it, because it saves every few seconds in TextAid. So it remembers what documents I had open and the text that I wrote in those documents as well. So that's good to know, isn't it? In fact, it might be very useful, a good time to tell you that it's very important with web apps to bookmark them or put them as a shortcut on your desktop or on the bottom of your computer as well for easy access. It is so easy to do that. All I have to do is click on the star and decide where I want that to be saved. I'm going to go bookmarks bar, and I'm not going to call it this really long name. Done. Now, where is it? Here it is. I don't even have to call it TextAid. If I just want the icon, I could go for just the icon. That's easy. I have an actual dedicated web apps folder, which with many web apps in. But yeah, I would recommend that the user does add it to the bookmarks bar. If they don't want to do that, they could add it to their desktop. Just click on the dots on the right hand side, and then you can cast, save and share. Go there, and you can create a shortcut. Here we go, shortcut. Do this. I just don't think you need the long address, do you? Create a shortcut to this page. And it is there. It will be on my desktop. So let's have a look if it is. Oh, it's on my other page. Just a moment. There we are. I'll drag it over here so you can see. There we are. I've got a shortcut there. I could also add it at the bottom if I wanted to as well. Right. Let's go back here. Okay, right, so we were in the library, weren't we? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload a document in here, because I've got like an assistive technology paper, and I need to have it read. I need to read it, but I have dyslexia. I'm very slow at reading. I'm never going to get through it if I read it myself and process it all and everything. So I'm going to add it. To do that, I just click Upload Document. I'm going to use I'm not going to use Alice. I'm going to use Jude because he's my favourite voice. And I can drop it in there or select the document. I'm going to drop it. So from my other screen, I'm going to just drop in the PDF. You can do multiple documents. Should we do a different one as well? Let's do a field trip form as well, which is also a PDF. Oh, okay. We'll do lecture slide as well to show a real variation of different types of document. Oh, I know. We'll go demoing TextAid to a student. We'll do that. That's a PowerPoint presentation. So we've got 2 PDFs and a PowerPoint. It could be a Word document as well. Let's click Upload. Just takes a moment to upload. It's successful. Close. It's going to open my library and we'll see those documents there. There we go. We've got those 3 documents in my library now. So let's open the assistive technology paper. You just click on the name and it opens up. Okay, right. This assistive technology paper, very typical, white background, columns. Always a challenge for people who have dyslexia or eye strain, or maybe just processing difficulties. This is not particularly easy to follow. I can just click listen. It will read the entire paper to me. That's really handy. I could just click and listen and, you know, process that. We'll be using some tools in a moment to help with processing. But maybe you prefer it if it was looking a bit different. Maybe you don't like these columns and the font spacing is tricky for you. You can use text mode. Now, text mode changes the way any document looks, so it's more comfortable for you to read and follow. If I click on text mode, I've already changed the settings because that's why it was a pink background earlier. So if I click on text mode, there, the words are the same, but now there's no columns. The white background's gone away and the font has changed colour and style and maybe size. And the spacing is a little bit bigger as well. So now I can probably follow a bit more easily because it's changed the way it looks. I'm going to just select a little bit. So if you remember, I clicked listen to listen to the entire thing. Well, at first it was only a sentence anyway, but this is a really long document. Maybe I just want a bit of it. So I've selected with my mouse and I can listen to it.
Any given stakeholder of assistive technology products might bring a limited perspective of assistive products based on personal experience.
Oh, no, I just clicked play again, so it was going to read it all again. Right, so yeah, that was Jude reading with the highlighting that I have just chosen. But perhaps you're thinking, I don't really want a pink background or the blue writing. You change those settings in where it says text at the bottom. So again, it's going to be showing what it looks like at the bottom, like it did with the highlighting. So I've already got it maxed out on spacing, so you can really alter the spacing. It's showing at the background as well. Normal is very squashy, isn't it? Right, you can change the font style. You've got 6 styles of font to choose from. It's depending on what you like. There is Open Dyslexic. I actually prefer the Arial. And then there's text size as well. So you can choose what size that is, ranging from really quite small to fairly large. And then there's the background colours. So you've got 5 different background colours. So you could make black, white, pale yellow, blue, pink, which is what we had before. Let's go on yellow this time. And then the text colour can change as well. Oh, that's a bad combination, isn't it? That would be a challenge to read. Good job, TextAid would read it to you, hey? So there it is, text mode, changing the way a document looks, changing the background colour, the spacing, the size and everything, so that it's easier to follow. So that is text mode. So you can go from layout mode to text mode in one click of the button. Now, if we go back to what we were looking at right at the beginning, that also has changed settings. So now that has got a yellow background as well. Now, while you are having this red, you might want to change the way you get it to read to you. At the moment, I've just clicked on listen, or I've selected with my mouse. The reading area button at the bottom, this is where you choose how you want to have things read. So maybe you do want to just generally click listen to have everything read, and then you can pause while you're reading. You don't have to start from the beginning each time. You can click pause and then play again. But you might want it from where your mouse is. So you want, I want to read it from to the end, but from in the middle. So you could do that. Text section is, it will read that paragraph to you. So you can choose where it's like select with your mouse and it will just read that highlighted bit. Text section reads a paragraph, or from mouse pointer to the page end is like, yeah, it reads from wherever you click. And you can get it to automatically turn the pages if you want to. So this is a 14-page document, so you may want it to, so you don't have to. Or maybe if you've got ADHD and you need to stay focused, maybe the act of turning the page might encourage you to focus more. It's your choice, so you can choose that too. While we're talking about pages, you can navigate a multi-page document easily by clicking on the top left button, little icon. Then you can quickly scroll to different pages of the document, or you can use the arrows, or you can select a specific page by clicking on the drop down. So you've got some choice of navigation there. If you don't want to see those little pages, just click on the icon again, it will hide it. Same goes with the names of the buttons. You can hide those if you want to see the document, more of the document on the page rather than the buttons. You can also play around with zooming in if you need to. So you can zoom into a document to see the words a bit bigger. And you can also make it fit the width or the height of the page. So you can play around with that to get it to look like you want it to. So that's that, using the document in various ways. So let's. I like to have the names of the buttons. I don't know why, because I know what they all are, but I just feel more comfortable with them there. But maybe if you're on an iPad or something like that, you would want to hide those so you can see the document better. Right. So while you're reading, you may come across words that you're not really sure what they mean, especially if you're studying in higher education. There's going to be loads of new vocabulary, and if you're not sure what it means, you might want a bit of help without having to Google it. well, you can do. You can look up words, so you can select a word. So I've got the word academic there. I can just listen to that. I can translate it if I need it translating into another language to help with understanding, or I can click on dictionary. So then the dictionary will read aloud the meaning of the word. So it will read it to me.
1. Academic. Adjective.
So there, she's going to be
A.
reading it to
Relating
me.
to education and school.
And it highlights like using the settings we've just chosen to help follow. So that's useful to help you understand what those words mean. Another thing is if you have a disability that affects the ability to read, usually you also have difficulty with processing that text. I'm talking mainly dyslexia or ADHD, like actually processing it all. It's no good, really. Well, it helps a little bit. Great, having everything read, but usually you're not going to really learn very much from just simply listening. You need to be doing something with the text while you're listening. There are 2 tools in TextAid that's going to help with that. We've got the annotations tool and the highlighter tool. So these are both really useful tools for help with processing text and learning, active reading. The annotations is particularly useful also for form filling. We will take a look at that in a moment. And the highlighter tool, as well as helping with active reading and processing what you're listening to, is also useful for extracting the important bits, maybe for revision or for use in an assignment you're doing. So let's take a look at these two tools. So annotations, you just click on it to open the toolbar. So it's a floating toolbar with self-explanatory tools. So you can type, you can add post-it notes, shapes, you can highlight bits like a marker tool, add emojis, a free drawing tool that's useful if you're using like maybe a stylus or your finger on an iPad or something like that. And you can choose colours, different colours there, thickness, and how transparent the lines are that you're drawing. So not transparent at all. I've got it set at. That's the sensible thing, I think. Now this little icon at the bottom means that you can listen to the text at the same time as using these tools, because you're probably going to want to do that. So I'm going to click on read text, and then I'm going to select some text, or I could click listen if I wanted to. I'm going to just click listen there, and then while it's reading I will do a little bit of annotating to actively listen.
Involvement of the users throughout the process ensures that the product serves their needs, enabling greater acceptance in the market. Challenges lie in the ability of academic institutions to get the necessary grants, manage product development, and coordinate diverse teams. To create awareness and facilitate wider participation, regional hubs of WHO can consolidate grants from various sources, create a network of interested industries in related areas.
Right, so while Jude was reading to me, I did a various annotations onto here. So I didn't use a post-it note. I could have used a post-it note there as well. So really I'm doing something while I'm listening, so that it will help with processing that and learning it. But perhaps this is very useful for many people, but perhaps if you're dyslexic, you're going to find it quite tricky to type at the same time as listening. You would probably have to pause, and then that's a bit challenging. So then you might opt, rather than annotating, you might opt to highlight the important bits so you can sit and really listen, but highlight so you're doing something still. So if I click on highlighter, I can do the same thing. So if I click the arrow button this time, is going to allow me to highlight at the same time as listening. So, but so I'll click listen this time.
Involvement of the users throughout the
And while
process
I'm
ensures that the
listening, I
product
can
serves their
highlight in
needs,
different colours.
enabling greater acceptance in the market. Challenges lie in the ability of academic institutions to get the necessary grants, manage product development, and coordinate diverse teams. To create awareness and facilitate.
So I could skip forward, skip backwards if I missed a bit, or this bit's not relevant, just a quick skip forwards. It was 5 seconds either way, so I can do that. I paused it at the moment, but I'm going to click stop. So I've highlighted a little bit, but of course you'd go through the entire document, listening, highlighting. I did different colours because it might be just for different topics and things like that, or you can just stick to one colour. And then when I think, right, I've got through that, all 14 pages, I feel confident now because I know that the important bits that I really need to think about, I've highlighted. And so now I can click on these little lines and I can collect and download the highlights. Then you've got options of clearing the highlights if you don't want them anymore on the whole page, on one page or the whole document. Now, show highlight borders. This is an option if colour contrast is not enough for you. Maybe you're colourblind or you just prefer to have different styles going around the words rather than the colour, well, as well as the colours. So we've got dots, solid line, dashes and underline. So 4 different styles. So that's useful if colour differences not useful for the user. So let's click collect and download highlights and take a look at what happens then. Okay, so it opens a box and it gives you various choices. So you can collect the highlights from just the page you're on or the whole document. And you can collect in different orders. So you might want to group all the colours together, so all the greens, all the reds, etc. Or by the position they are in the text. Maybe you don't want it muddled up. You want it in the order that it was in the text. There, so you've got some colour, some choices of how it's sorting the highlights. I will go by position in the text, and then do you want to see the colour indicators? When you've downloaded it, it shows a little coloured box next to each bit of highlight. So you might want to, you might not to. I will this time. And do you want to show the borders, you know, these borders as well? I'll show those too. And you can also choose whether you want to include and download or everything or just particular coloured highlights. So maybe if it's for different things, you might want just the yellows. But we'll collect them all. So I click collect and download and it's added a new tab. So I've still got the assistive technology paper that I was using open. I've also got that original document that we were looking at right at the beginning. So you can have multiple tabs open along the top here. So it's collected all the highlighted bits I've done. In this case it was just 3, but it might be multiple pages, quite a lot. It's put when I collected it, what the document was that I collected it from, and very importantly for referencing purposes, the page that it was taken from, or the pages. And I opted to show the colours and the borders, so that's why there's little boxes going down there. So now I've collected those important bits. If I was trying to learn from this paper, I might want to listen to these important bits again to consolidate my learning. So I can do that. So that's a useful tool for processing the information, but also this might be important bits that I need to revise, or I might be using this in my essay. I could actually write my essay in TextAid if I wanted to, and use these if I wanted to. I can save these highlights. They're automatically saved anyway in TextAid, but if I go on the little arrow next to save, I can save them as a Word document if I wanted, or a PDF if I wanted to like save it and then download it maybe, or I can just save it in the TextAid library. I'll do that. Now it's not got a most sensible name at the moment, so I might want to call it something else. I just clicked away. That's why that disappeared then. Now I'll just put highlights. Okay, and it's called that. So I'll click save. So it's changed the name at the top as well there. So that's a highlighter tool, really useful. And then before that we were looking at the annotations tool. Now I did mention that the annotations tool is also useful for form filling, which is a real challenge if you've got dyslexia, because especially if it's a piece of paper with, you know, a form, a physical piece of paper form, and you've got to handwrite it. Maybe you're going to be challenged by the questions, being able to understand the questions. Then you're worried you're going to spell things wrong. Maybe you've got dyspraxia even, and your handwriting is really poor, so the person's not going to be able to read it either. You can use TextAid to, first of all, take a photograph of that form, and then it will be uploaded into TextAid, and then you can complete it using that annotations tool. I will be jumping onto my phone in a few minutes, but if you can just imagine that I have clicked on, while I was on my phone, I'll show you where it is when I'm on my phone, but it's the image to text button. This is all exactly the same on a phone because, you know, we're on the same account. It's just in a browser on my phone instead of my laptop, smaller screen. So I would click on image to text. If I'm on my phone, you have the option of taking a photograph, and then it's uploaded into your library. I'm going to go to my library now, and I've already got a field trip form here, you see. So that's why I thought I'll just do this for now. So we'll open it. I'll just show you how easy it is to fill in a form. So here we go. We've got a form I need to fill in. I can listen to it. Of course, let's listen. We've heard Jude quite a lot. She went for someone else. Let's go for Daisy. So we'll listen.
This checklist can be used by members of staff responsible for organising student field trips.
So I can read all of that. The links still work, even though you've uploaded it into TextAid. The links are going to still work, so you can click on those if you want to. And then go to annotations. Here we are. And this time I'm going to use text, aren't I? Details, geography. See this box that's appeared with numbers and a speaker? This is word prediction. And when you're typing, whether it's on a document using the annotations tool or in your own TextAid document, it can suggest words to you, and you can go on the speaker to listen to the words. And oh, these are very little words. And then I'm just hovering there, and she's reading it to me. I can click on it to put it in, or I can use the number on my keyboard to put it in. I have spelled geography wrong. Still wrong. There we go. Geography. So geography, that doesn't make sense. Like, just go field trip. Okay. I can make it bigger. I can change the colours and everything. I can do a spell check there if I want to make sure I've spelled everything right, like the word geography. And then I can click. I can move it around. I can click the tick or click away, and it just puts it there on the form, and it saves automatically. So you can go ahead and fill in a form using TextAid in that way, and then you could save it to your Google Drive or your OneDrive there, or you can click print and print it off. That's possibly what you're going to want to do, isn't it? Print it off to hand it in to somebody. So that's another way of using the annotations tool really effectively. It's a really useful feature there. We were talking about text mode and how that makes documents really easy to read. There is also in tools, there is a page mask and a reading ruler as well, which I think particularly useful for people who maybe have ADHD, struggle with focus, if they've got to move their mouse while it's being read, they're more likely to be looking at the screen rather than being distracted by things around them. So you can go on settings to choose what colours you want things to be and how transparent things are as well. So I can go blue on the outside, make it really transparent or really not transparent, opaque. So I can choose how I want the outside bit to be and also the inside bit. So I might want it really pink. So you can choose how you want that to be. Same with the reading ruler, you can choose what colour and how transparent that is. So you can choose that too. I want to close that. It remembers once you've set it. So now if I wanted to have this switched on, the page mask, I can, and it moves with my mouse. I can alter the size of that. I'm going to press space bar so that then I'm just free to move it, and it will read at the same time as me moving my mouse to help follow. Just click on the cross to switch that off. So that's a page mask, reading ruler, really similar. So you can have it either like transparent, so it will actually show it, or you can make it so it blocks off. I think it helps sometimes with people who miss lines. You can't track along a line very easily. The reading rule is useful for that. So that you may have noticed also in tools, we've also got a calculator. Now this is a talking calculator, useful for people, especially with dyslexia, who may switch round the digits or read it as instead of it 329, they might read it as 392 just because of their dyslexic brains reading it and muddling up the digits. So it is useful to be able to hear. So if I
minus 6 5 329 minus 65 equals 264.
So then you can hear the actual calculation, which is useful for many people, especially if they have dyslexia.
Clear.
So let's close that. So that's the talking calculator that's in tools. Right. So I will be moving on to looking at websites and using TextAid websites and then phones. But just before I do that, I'm just going to show you the help with when you're doing your own writing that's available. So I've just clicked on new text like I did right at the beginning, and this is where you can do your own writing. Now when you're writing, like we saw when we were using our annotations button, you can get word prediction. You can also get your sentences echoed back to you. So I'll write a sentence.
The cat ran DWN the road.
Okay, so I wrote that and then I pressed full stop, space bar. And once I did that, that's when we heard Alice reading it down. That's because I was looking at the word down, that's incorrect. She read it to me. Now I heard, and I'd missed out a letter in that down. She said DWN, because that's not a word, is it? So I can listen and instantly proofread my own writing, really useful. And the box that's appearing is that word prediction that we were looking at. So I can then go and correct that. Or if I didn't realise that was wrong, I could click on the spell checker and then it will underline in red anything that is incorrect. And then you can click on it to find the words that you need. Now it's useful this because you can listen to the words. In Microsoft Word, yeah, great, there is a spell checker, it will suggest words, but if you're dyslexic, sometimes it's a challenge to know which one's correct. If you could listen to it, like you can in TextAid, that's really useful, isn't it?
Down.
Down. Yes, I want to use that. And you click on it to correct it. Now, there is a dictation button. I wouldn't say use this to write an entire essay or assignment, but it is very useful for people who have great ideas, but they take a long time to get those onto a computer. So you can just click on the dictate button. You click start and you say your idea. This is a great idea. Oh, it hasn't woken up. This is a great idea. There we are. It's put it into the box. I can carry on and click start again and add another idea, or insert the text and it goes into my work. So you can use this dictation button to help you get ideas quickly onto the computer. So that's a little bit of help with your own writing. You can look up words, you know, just like we did in the academic paper. Although when you're doing your own writing, you probably know what the vocabulary is that you're typing. But in case you didn't, you can. And you can translate all your writing into another language if you need to. That's what the translation button is on the left-hand side. So if I click translate, I can choose what language I want to translate it into. So let's go for French. Translate. Instantly, it's changed the words, it's changed the voice. I can now listen in French.
Le chat courut sur la route. C'est une excellente idée.
There we are. And then if I want to change it back, click revert translation. You can also translate in the documents, but you don't use the button on the left-hand side. You go, you highlight the words. So let's go to this paper we were looking at. You select what you want to be translated, and then you click translate in the pop-up box. So I've got a choice of, let's change it to Welsh, and then we can listen in Welsh.
O ganlyniad, efallai y byddwn yn gallu dysgu o strategaethau
It translates using Google for some languages, and sometimes it doesn't use Google, it uses something else. It just depends on which is best for that specific language. So yeah, translation, super easy, one click and you're done. So that's really useful too. Right, another thing before I move on to web reading, I just wanted to show you something else in the library, and that is the Bookshare tab. So we did look very briefly at the Google Drive and OneDrive. I just mentioned that you can access your documents that are in those drives. Anything you upload automatically saves into your library, and you can organise it using folders. So if you want specific folders for topics or for semesters or for different, different areas, if you were working, maybe, you can create a folder and put things in there if you want to. You can also download any documents that you've got. Maybe you've put some annotations on. You could download them, or if it was your own writing, you could download them that way as well. But yeah, Bookshare. Bookshare is an amazing resource for anyone who has a disability that involves the ability to read. Not just the ability to read as in processing and decoding words, but also whether they can hold a book. So if you have difficulty holding a book for whatever reason, you qualify for a Bookshare account. It's through RNIB in the UK. And so if you're dyslexic, visually impaired, blind, or have a physical disability that prevents you from being able to hold a physical book, you can get access to Bookshare. And what it is a massive database of books in electronic format. There are various formats, including like Braille and Daisy and that sort of thing. Often they're PDFs. I'm just gonna click on like Hamlet. I'm gonna search for books that are called Hamlet. Click search and it will show me what's available. Now I don't have a full account. I only have a demonstration account, so I can't, there's nothing appearing here like EPUB or PDFs. But if you did have a proper full account through RNIB, they would appear little icons. What I can show you is if I use Call of the Wild, because they give access to that for trainers. So Call of the Wild, search, and then there's one. Here we go. Look, I can then click on the little icon. I can say where I want to save. I've not added any folders, so it will just be loose in my library. Click save. Come on. It will, and then it will save into my library. It might take a moment because it's an entire book, of course, so multiple pages. And we may move on because I want to move on to web reading. Right, I will. Hopefully, it will have loaded into the library in a moment. Right, and then you open that book. And then you can have it read using those TextAid, the ReadSpeaker voices, and you can use like the annotations tool and the highlighter tool to extract bits and highlight bits, make notes and things like that. So it's so useful, and it's really useful to be able to listen to the book rather than having to try and read it yourself. And I mean, there is the image to text button to take a photograph of a page of a book, but that's one page, whereas this would be the entire book. You take a very long time to take a picture of each page, wouldn't you? So yeah, it's a really, really useful resource is that. And many universities have licenses for that, so students can go to the disability services and ask, and then they can provide them with a login that way as well. Or they can go directly to RNIB for Bookshare. Right. Web reading. Of course, it's not everything, and not everything is a document or your own writing, is it? Sometimes you need to read websites or use Office 365 and you want to have your stuff read that you've been doing there, or in Google Docs, for example. So you will be wanting to use the tools of TextAid outside of the TextAid account. So you go into web reading. This is to add two things. You can add, I'm on my computer. You can add a browser extension, so you can use any browser. So Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Opera, or another browser that is not listed there. So you click on the browser that you're using. It's very easy to set up. You click on the link and then add to Chrome. It's as easy as that. Add the extension. It just takes a moment, and it's just downloading now, and then it will be in my extensions any moment. If I want a little icon like I have got like for Pro Study and Light Key there, or and Bionic Reading, which I think is a useful free app there, I just need to pin it. So I'm going to click on the jigsaw there. It's not actually loaded yet, but do you see how like these are not pinned? And like he is, look, there we are, Pro Study is, I would just make it so it's pinned there and then I can use it. It's taking longer than I thought it would, but that's how you add the browser extension. Now, you can also use the web reader. I'm just going to delete that because I'm going to show you how to add that. So let's go back to web reading. And instead of choosing like Chrome, I'm going to go on other browser. I'm going to just simply click and drag this TextAid web reader. Oh, it's done now. Web reader up to my bookmarks bar. Well, you need to show your bookmarks bar to be able to just drag it. So if you haven't, you need to go on bookmarks and lists on the top right, and then show bookmarks bar. But I'm already showing mine. So, and then you just click, drag it up, and it adds it there. I've got too many things on mine. Look, there it is. Now, the reason there's two ways to get websites read is you can't use this Chrome extension if you were using a phone or an iPad, something like that. It's just the technology is not available that way. So you can't have things read on your phone. Oh, that's real hassle. So ReadSpeaker have made the web reader. It's really useful to be used on a laptop as well as phones and iPads. So I like to have it available on my laptop too. I will show you it in action now. So we'll first of all look at the Chrome extension. So if I go to something like this is like Google Docs, These are the instructions of how to set up TextAid. If I want to have this read to me, I can open the browser extension. I'm going to pin it, so click on the pin. There it is, look. Then that makes it easy. But it is easier than that, in fact. If I select the text, I can just right click and find it, or you can open it. So if I click on the little icon, well, because it's brand new, it's just taking a moment, I think. I don't know where it's gone. It's not opening for some reason. Maybe I'm jumping the gun and I'm too too eager to use it. So yeah, all you do usually is you just select the text and it will be a little icon and you can read that section, and there's different tools. Well, we'll look at the web reader for the time being then. I'm going to go on websites. I'll open a website to show you the web reader. They're very similar. They read the text on websites. But there are some different tools on the two different things. So if I wanted to have some text read on here, I could use that browser extension, or I could use the web reader. To open the web reader, you just click on the link that you added to the bookmark bar. It's a floating toolbar. So there's various tools. You can choose the reading voice. I will go for Aiden. If you go for Aiden, and then you can choose click and listen if you want. That means you don't have to select it all with a mouse. Just click and it will read that bit. You can enlarge the text. You can use a page mask if it helps you follow. You can even make the text in your text mode setting so it's easier for you to see. So I can select some text. A box pops up. Click listen and it will read.
I came over to her laptop, not being above watching someone making an idiot of himself for 15 seconds of social media fame.
I quite like Aiden's voice as well, yes. I seem to like male voices to listen to rather than female, but, you know, personal preference. And it's enlarging that text, so it's easier for me to follow, especially if this was a small screen like a phone. So that's it enlarging it, and I just clicked and it was reading that whole paragraph to me. So that's the web reader, which will read websites to you. Now, there is a page mask. Shall we just see what that looks like? So it follows your mouse, just like we were looking at within TextAid. So that's what the page mask is. Reading voice. You've got a selection of voices to read. It doesn't translate. You know, if you chose German, it would read using the German voice, so it might sound a bit strange. It doesn't translate the web reader, but it will read in that language if you need it to. Settings is where you can choose the highlighting colour and the sentence colour and the text colour, just like when we were looking at it within TextAid. It's just the same. And of course, all the voices are exactly the same as well, because they're all made by ReadSpeaker. You can also change the way all this looks. This is especially for the text mode setting, and you can choose the speed. You can choose the volume of how loud it's reading as well. You can choose font style, spacing. This is for text mode. I shall show you it. So now if I've set that up, close there. If I wanted this, now this text isn't too bad to read myself, but if I wanted it to be in text mode, I select it, and there it is in a box, a bit clearer for me to look at and listen as well. You could make it really big if you wanted to. There we go. So that's text mode within a website. Useful there. Right, so I've just removed that to player, and I wonder whether is it playing ball now? Oh yes, there we are. So this is the other one. This is the browser extension. I was just a bit too early. I'd only just added it as an extension. That's why it wasn't working earlier, but it is now. I'll just talk you through the tools in here because they're slightly different, but the main thing they do is read, just like the other one. So to have the text read, like I said earlier, I don't actually have to click on the extension. I can just simply click and right click, and there it is, read selection. And that will automatically open this toolbar. So if I click, it's going to read.
I came over to her laptop, Not being above watching someone making an idiot of himself for 15 seconds of...
So I've got a different voice that you've not heard during this session. This is an American voice. So if I click on the world, this is where you can select the voice you want to use there, and the speed. You can change the speed of the reading, and the settings, just like before. This is where you choose a highlighting color, or in fact whether it's going to be highlighting for you or not. Now, there are two different icons in the browser extension. One is writing assistance. This is if you're using Office 365, so you're using like Word Online. You can have some support with it reading it out to you, and word prediction there with the writing assistance, and the little icon with the like a box with, I think it's mountains in the middle. This is for if you come across words that can't be highlighted. They're maybe in an image, or it's a hyperlink. So if you selected it, it would just take you to that page. You can use that button to draw a box around it, and it will read whatever you've drawn a box around.
Explore the March 2022 issue.
So there we are. There it is, reading like that. So that is web reading, and I'm on my laptop. So we're nearly finished, which is a good job because I have taken a while. I just want to finally show you the phone and using TextAid on your phone. Good news is it's exactly the same. You just log in on your phone into TextAid and add a shortcut just like you can. I'm not sure why it is black. Right, I will share again, and maybe the mirroring had timed out, so let's connect again, and then I will show you. This will not take very long. I just wanted to show you that it is actually exactly the same on a phone. So if I go to TextAid, just forgot where it is. Oh no. There we are. Right, so I'm going to open TextAid, and all the tools are the same. They're just minimized there, so that is just the same. All the tools are exactly the same. It's very handy to be able to use image to text. So I was mentioning it earlier. So if I go on image to text on my phone, then I can click choose file. And then this gives me the option to take a photograph with my camera on my phone. So handy for taking a photo of something that you need, maybe a page of a book in a library that you don't want to take the book out, or a form that you need to fill in, or just a whole page of text that you want in your TextAid account. You just choose it in that way. You choose a voice, you choose where you want to save it, and whether you want to be able to edit that text. So that is the image to text button, particularly useful for use on your phone. It's easy to take a photo that way. So yeah, use TextAid just the same. You can listen to a full document. So if you're out and about, maybe traveling, you can listen via your phone to anything. You don't have to even save it as audio, even though you can download as an MP3. You don't need to, because you've got access to all your documents in your TextAid account. Just click listen and it will read it to you. You don't need to be able to see the screen, do you? There. So there's that. Now, there's also the web reading. You know, that web reading I've just been showing you. You can do that in TextAid. So if I'll open something. Here we are. We've got a Wikipedia page. If I want to have this read, I just tap on the URL, start typing TextAid, and there's something called JavaScript here. And it logs into my TextAid account. I've got that floating toolbar that you've already seen on my laptop, and it works just the same. So tap on, go on, click and listen and enlarge text, because that's going to make it much easier to read. And then click, and then it will read. So I made it quieter, not louder. So there it is, reading on my TextAid. Now, if you haven't set it up, it is easy to do. Just go, like I did on my laptop, go on web reading. but this time select mobile, because I'm on my mobile. Select whether it's Android or iOS, and then all you do is follow the instructions. There's very clear instructions of what to do and a little video to help as well. So that helps you on how to add it onto your phone, so you can use it on a phone or an iPad, so anything like that, or even on your laptop like I use it as well. Right, we've got through it all. That is TextAid. All the tools, everything. I believe I've covered everything, and you probably have noticed that it is super easy to use. All the buttons are on the left hand side. We've got the tools, the features, and then we've got the settings bottom left. You've got multiple documents on. It reads absolutely any document. You can do your own writing. It translates. You can fill in forms. You can easily actively read and process more easily using those annotations tool and the highlighter tool. And you can use everything on any device, even a phone or iPad. So hopefully that's been really useful for like deep dive into TextAid and everything that it offers within the account, how to set the account up, and how you can use it outside the account on websites as well. So thanks so much for your time. If you do have any questions, please ask them, or I'm going to be sending you a follow-up email and reply to that with any questions you have as well as demo licenses if you require one. Thank you very much. I can send licenses. Yes, will do. We'll do later today. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day, and thanks for joining me. Bye bye.